Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
And welcome back, everybody. Once you figure out this whole thing about energy and how we're all energy, how it supports us, how energy can be used to help us heal, it's a life changer. So many
Oh, it
lives,
definitely is.
people have moved their lives forward thanks to that. And we're going to talk about that and more, specifically something called integrative energy therapy, which I know nothing about. And I've been studying energy for a little while now. We're going to rely on her as a energy practitioner, healing practitioner to help us out. Claire Scanlan joins us once again on the program. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
I want to say I'm keeping warm here in New York because it's kind of a cold snap, but this is Florida weather in New York at 18 degrees compared to what is going on there in Canada. Where are you and what's your temperature?
I'm in Northern Ontario in a little town called Sturgeon Falls, and this morning it was minus 34 Celsius.
Minus 34 Celsius. So I have
Yes.
to figure
I
out
don't-
what that would be. Celsius.
I have no idea what it would be in Fahrenheit.
I need to find that out. Um,
It's cold enough that my dog did not want to go out.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, and they love to go out. So it was just like, no, you got to go out.
Claire, it's minus 29 degrees.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
you got to get dressed. And
Like,
and I'm by the lake, so it's like it's
you
always
get
a little cooler than downtown.
well,
But
I'm going to assume also that you get lake effect snow,
yes,
meaning a lot.
yes,
That's what that means.
yes.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we
Wow.
don't have much this year though, but yes.
It's probably too cold to snow. That's a problem. Amazing. Wow. Can't even imagine
Yes.
minus 29. I don't even think ever in my life, maybe I experienced minus 3. I don't even know. Wow. Unbelievable. Well, let's keep it going and keeping it warm with warm energy and
Yes.
IET,
Mhm.
integrative energy therapy. What exactly is that?
So it's very similar to Reiki, but we say it's Reiki on steroids because with this integrated energy, where we call IET all the time, is it doesn't work just with your chakras. It works with it's a divine angelic energy ray, okay? And it works directly with the 12 strand spiritual DNA. Um, I'm not sure how to explain it much more than that.
Well, let's look at
Um,
Reiki because lots of us know what Reiki
yes,
does. And Reiki uses your energy as a practitioner to help other people heal and feel better. You send the energy to them using a certain technique which you learn, you
yes.
become certified in. How does IET look compared to that?
It's very similar in a way. However, with Reiki, we work with the chakras mostly, right? Or
Oh,
with the body. Like, whereas with IET, we work with different energy level. So we work with the, oh my gosh, I'm losing it here. We work with the spiritual, like the physical, spiritual, emotional, and mental energy
okay.
level. So depending, you may have blockage in any of these energy field, and then we remove that blockage. So it's not just with the chakra. And the way we do it, it's a little different. So initially, we start with activating the field that, like we do it the whole body initially, okay? And oh my gosh, I have the
Well, how does
words, but
it
they're
now I'm
not
curious.
coming.
I'm aware
Yes,
of the
so it's
chakras.
this. Yes, so it's kind of the same. You follow it, but we go with the tissue with certain points on the body where we activate, remove, what's blocking, and then give the positive. So
Okay.
it's different. It's so much stronger.
Mhm.
And when I do the treatment, sometimes someone will ask me, like, okay, I just want Reiki, and I'm sorry, IET just come in by itself. And it's a different, we do a heart link with the person first to connect with the person, whereas with Reiki, you don't. You just have to touch and feel the energy around them. Whereas with IET, you connect with them. So right then, I don't want to say we mix energy because I'm not giving you energy. I'm just the conduit for the energy. I'm not giving it to you. It's not coming through me. Like it's just,
What it sounds like you very much connect with the person that you're working with on a
yes,
deeper level than, let's say, chakra cleansing or balancing, where it's my understanding the way that works is our chakras. We have seven main chakras in our body, and
yes,
they can get mucked up, if you will, with energy, and they can be cleared out. And that just gives them a much more uh, positive feeling. You're not stuck sometimes. You you're really who you should be. However,
yes,
to my knowledge, you're just clearing. It's not that you're putting in positive energy. You're just clearing them out. It sounds like
yeah,
with integrative energy therapy that you're putting positive energy in once you clear out the stuck part.
yes. And also with the IET is we're channeling and removing the negative and putting positive into the body.
Right.
Whereas Reiki, you can't really put positive energy. And it's all linked with the universe, higher being. And that's how that happens.
Interesting. Wow.
Does that make
Um,
sense?
yeah, yeah, because with Reiki, like we said, you're um, you're clearing, but you're giving energy, but it's not the same type of positive
No,
energy put
it's
in.
totally different.
And it doesn't sound, and my understanding of Reiki, and I've had it done before, quite a few times, even virtually, that you you're not on a deeper spiritual level. You're just working with the energy.
Yes.
Hmm.
Whereas with IET, you connect with the higher being and you pull that energy down to yourself to connect, and then you send it to the person. And yeah, and then you do the heart connection with that person and to to heal. And I always ask the higher being to guide me in what I need to do for that person. Whatever they require for the highest being, for the highest good, that's what I do. But it's
So,
very similar. You lay down on the bed, a massage bed, or on a chair if that's what you have, and hands on. But it's different position, different location on the body that we do.
and when it's Reiki, what are those things that you have to learn? It's a term, and when you go from Reiki 1 to 2 and on, there's a term that's you unlock certain somethings.
Yes.
What are they called? In Reiki.
Uh,
I'm talking Reiki.
they're signs. They're the
Y-
signs,
Yeah.
the symbols that you
Yes.
need.
Yes. That you visualize or
Yes,
and that's why you go from a Reiki 1 to a Reiki 2 because there's different signs that you
yes,
utilize, but that you get a more stronger outcome when you advance.
that's correct.
Wow.
And with IET, it's the same process in a way. So you start basically, there's different levels. And you start with the basic level where it shows you it work with, like I said, like we talk about the 12 strand DNA. Well, at basic level, you work with the first and the second pair, which is the physical and the emotional. Okay. And we show you how to do it, and we do the energy attunement so that you're able to do it on yourself and other people as well, if you want. What it does, it expands, it realigns, and it restructures the first pair and the second pair of the DNA. Does that make sense in a way? And It cleared the cellular memory of the physical and the emotional blockage that you may have, because we carry the trauma from past generation.
Is that
And
always the case?
yes,
Hmm.
because your parents had everything to create you before you were born, right? So because of that, you share their trauma and it carries over. And that's why we always say 7 generation to heal, either forward or backwards. So by healing yourself, you heal generation behind you or in the future, or your generation like your parents, your grandparents, great grandparents, and so on. So it heals that. It's
Wow.
angelic energy. But
I'm
some
I'm
people
seeing
don't
more and
believe.
more evidence of just what you're describing as life goes on. I
Yes,
really am.
yes, yes.
Hmm.
And by healing yourself, if you just start with yourself, you'll start noticing people around that in your family that you have link with will change as well. It seems not as heavy sometimes, like whatever trauma it is.
Can we do it to ourselves? Can we
Yes,
heal ourselves um, with Reiki?
yes, but not to the same level as IET. Um, just to, okay, so last time we met, we talked about I had some trauma from my childhood. Okay, and I'd been doing Reiki for a while, and I'd been doing not physiotherapy, but psychology and so on. Okay, however, I had stepped out of my body for a long, long, long time, long period of time, and when I did the IET, my body came back.
Now, when you say you stepped out, how do you describe that?
Um, I was living life, not really high, not really low, just kind of going through life, no real emotion, not really fully connecting with everything. And then when I did the session, I felt coming back. Then I started to feel things. So I had like a disconnect with my spirit and body.
Hmm.
So then it got realigned.
That was the word I was going to use, disconnect. It was, you were doing life, but you were somewhat disconnected from life. You really
Exactly.
weren't living it to, you know, its full potential and even your full potential. That's what it sounds
That's
like.
right. That's right.
Wow.
So that was very powerful. And that was just starting my first experience. And then so that's why I'm saying like it clears the cellular memories of your body, of your physical, emotional blockage. So that's with the first level. With the second level, we go more in depth into it. And with the second level, we look at the mental and the karmic pair of this DNA strand.
Meaning
Then we
karma,
Yes. So there we talk about the physical, emotional, mental, and the karmic energy that is blocked in our human energy level or field.
hmm. Wow.
I know it's quite
No,
special.
Claire, I got to tell you more and more, and I'm not just saying this because we're here today. More and more, I see evidence of exactly what you're talking about in my world. I really do.
Yep.
Like it comes crystal clear many times um, of the connection to our lineage, you know, in our family's past and how things are passed on. I'm not just talking about genetics, but the
No.
energy.
Yes. Yes. And with that, I'm able like we have some our field could be very small on each level or really big depending how much I don't want to say trauma because it's not just full of trauma, but it depends on what your you project per se. Okay. So, and when I do that, it's as if like I'm pulling it out. So then the first one is the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. I call it spiritual, right? And then depending where I feel the resistance, that's where it's stuck. So then there's certain techniques that I do to remove it from there. Sometimes it feels like a ball, and then I pull it out, like I really pull it out. And if I was to break it and the person is not ready, it could cause more harm than benefit. So the person would
Hmm.
have, if they're not ready to let go, and I pull it out and it broke, then the person would experience that trauma again.
Wow. How do you know when they're ready to heal?
And that's the thing, like with practice, I know when it releasing by itself. If it's not releasing, I call a higher divine to assist me with that. I get the person to say some things to let it release, and I ask them, "Are you ready to release that?" And not, and then if not, I just let it go. They're not ready. I don't push it more than what they're ready to let go. And I feel the resistance, like when I here I am, I'm doing with my hand, like
Hmm. But you can feel it, right?
yes, I feel it. And the person have I've actually had clients saying like I'm feeling it pulling it out of me. I'm feeling it pulling it out. And then it's just like, ah, it's gone.
I've heard Reiki practitioners can even run their hand
Oh
above
yeah.
somebody's body. Not you're not touching, just like
No.
literally above, the body.
Yep.
And you can feel either vibration, heat in areas that need attention.
Yes. Yeah. And it's the same with IET, you feel it differently. So, for example, you hold your resentment and your anger in your back, in the mid back. Someone who has a lot of back issues and all that, I could tell just by going back, it's like, okay, you got a lot of issues in there, like resentment. And depending if it's right or left, it could be related to male or feminine energy, work, home life. And yeah, I'm able to tell them that.
Tell me about the throat chakra. What if somebody's having some issues, what's going on with their throat chakra?
So with the throat chakra is that you're holding back. So if you're coughing, have asthma, and that was my case, you could be more prone to have asthma attack, colds, coughing, trying to clear your voice, your throat all the time when you're talking. Um, you're not speaking your truth. And once we remove that blockage, then you're able to. I don't know if you've ever had that experience when you're talking to somebody and you don't want to say fully what you're feeling and all this, and you'll start coughing, or, you know,
Hmm. Hmm.
clearing your throat and all this until you realize that's what you're doing. You'll have those. But once you start noticing, you'll say, oh, okay, so that's what's going on. Or sometimes in a very emotional situation, your voice is cracking, you can't talk, or you get laryngitis. Like, last time when you were talking, you were saying that you needed a break. You weren't being true to yourself.
Mm.
You got laryngitis,
Yeah. Yeah, I had acute laryngitis. Never
right?
had it in my life.
I know.
Yeah.
So these are those little things that you start noticing that say, okay, so for myself, when I start noticing that, I start doing treatment right away. So not to get sick. Sometimes I forget and it's like, oh, it's gonna pass. But eventually I have to address it. And I do healing on myself pretty much every night, either Reiki or IET, depending what comes up. Yeah.
Is it true that we can use Reiki to heal ourselves? Somebody told me just rub your hands together
Yeah,
generate
start the
heat.
energy going. Yeah,
Yeah.
start going. Yes, you
Eh,
could do that. There's different ways of doing it. Like that's just to call, but you have to have an attunement to be able to pass it on.
That was the word I was looking for before.
Okay.
Attunement. And
Yeah.
that's where you see the symbols and the signs when you do
Yes.
Reiki.
Yes. And that's only a master that could give an attunement to somebody else so that they're able to do it. It's just really opening up their ways so that
Gotcha.
they are allowed to do it. The same with IET. We get a different attunement at different level that allows us to have those different step or level to do the healing. So as an IET, I'm a master because it's 4 levels, and
Wow.
I could teach it. However, I cannot teach the master level because I did not go higher than that. There's just certain specific individual who have taken the training with the master. I don't know what to call that person who can do that.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Wow, but you still, look at you're a master Reiki practitioner, correct?
Yes, I am.
That's pretty impressive. You've
Yeah.
been you've been doing this a long time, and
Yes, I have.
yeah, and you must have a fascination with all of this, even to know, um, the all the different modalities. Um,
Yes.
hmm,
Yeah, I it comes by itself now. Like before I used to have to say to remind myself, okay, you have to put your hands like this and do that and just to make sure that I was in the right place. Now it's just like, okay, this is where it is. I have to take there and let's connect, remove the negative, let's put the positive in and all that. But what's cool with IET is that we also do a session for kids. It's a 3-hour session where we show them how to connect with the divine and so that they could heal themselves.
wow, wow.
Yeah, it's yeah,
Do they embrace it? When
yes.
kids, yeah, yeah.
The kids are sponge.
Yep. And they don't have any prejudgment. There are some people,
Exactly.
you could be older and say, these two people right now on this podcast are crazy. They're talking this woo-woo stuff. How can this even work? But it does. But I've experienced
Yes.
it. Claire, how do we find you? How do we connect with you?
So you connect with me, email at Claire, Claire, at butterfly-whisper.com. Or you could text or call me on the cell phone as 1-613-720-2472. Or my website is www.butterfly-whisper.com.
Thank you for enlightening us today. And again, I've been looking at the whole energy thing. I've had Reiki, all of that. It goes even so much deeper than
And
we realize.
yeah, and the fun is you don't have to be present. We could do remote.
Exactly. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the most I think I've
So
had.
hey, we could try.
We should. Maybe, could we, next time we get together, could we
Uh-huh.
do a Reiki session, a mini Reiki session to show people what it's like?
Yes.
Like we would do
Um,
it virtually.
of course. Yes. There's signs though that I could do the sign in my head because not allowed to show the signs if
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
just an example,
Yes,
same thing like let's
definitely.
say hypnotherapy. People have this image of control, mind control, and it's none of
No.
that. Yeah. That would be cool. And it's definitely going to be virtual because there's no way I'm coming there with minus 19 degrees. I love you, but no.
Oh, it got nicer in the summer.
I know, I know. And probably it's been colder than that. 19
Oh
degrees
yes.
minus. Yeah.
Oh
Fahrenheit, by
yeah.
the way. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
Fahrenheit. Yes.
stay warm. Thanks for being here, and we'll catch up next time.
Okay, you take care now.
You too.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Bye.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.